Hey, I'm David Levin, and welcome to another cataclysmic episode of Pop Goes the Culture, the untold stories of your favorite shows from the stars who live them. Today, in part 3 of my chat with Jasmine Guy, she gets into specifics about just how the hit 90s sitcom A Different World evolved after season 1. Debbie Allen comes on as producer-director, how Jasmine felt about the final episode, the graduation, and the wedding. And she talks about her friendship with Kadeem Hardison and how Kadeem felt about other men on the set.
The summer, that hiatus period of waiting, Lisa found out she was pregnant. She gave me a call and we were excited, but then I was sure the show would be canceled. And I believe, from what I remember and from what I heard, that Cosby did want to integrate her pregnancy into the show, but the network did not. And I felt that would have been fabulous. I mean, it would have eliminated a lot of the trite problem, and it would have dealt with a segment of society where women are struggling, having these babies really early, but still wanting to get their education. I just thought it would have given a great depth to our comedy, but they didn't do that. So they put Lisa back on the Cosby Show, as you know, and Debbie Allen was brought on as a producer and director of the show, and she changed not only the tone of the show, she made some dramatic changes from the first season. And she called me because I knew Debbie. I had done Fame, the television series, and she said, okay, we're going to hook you and Dwayne up. And I thought it was a terrible idea. I was like, well, that's lazy. How obvious and not obvious. I mean, what the hell do they have in common? Other than Kadeem and I came on the show at the same time. I didn't see any. It was such a reach to me that Whitley, because the way Dwayne was in the first season was like a little kid with a big crush on Denise. And Whitley seemed like she'd be going out with someone who was already out of college. I don't know. So they started that second season with the dreaming about Dwayne, and I went to Kadeem, who was my friend and very much like, a younger brother to me, and I said, I'm not buying it. If I don't buy it, I can't play it. That's my phone, I think. Is that bothering? Can you hear it? Okay. So I said, we got to work on this. First of all, we need sexual tension. Because I'd walk in the room and he'd be eating and he'd never look up from his potato chips or something. I'm like, you're supposed to like me. When I walk in, you got to, give me some eye contact, like the stuff in between the lines. And because of our relationship, like this big sister, little brother thing, he wouldn't really take over. He didn't want to offend me and get in my boundary zone, because I was kind of tough cookie about things. And I was like, look, you're going to have to grab me and kiss me, because this is, you got to be more aggressive and let that man thing come out. And we really worked on it. And consequently, it made us so much closer. I mean, we have a completely honest relationship with each other, and I trusted him completely with my work. Kadeem, is this working? And how come this isn't funny? And I knew he would tell me the truth. And also, it made that Dwayne and Whitley thing happen. And I'm always like that, though. I got to believe it first. And I was asked to do some things on that show I did not believe. I didn't want to do that graduate wedding ending. No, don't marry her. I was like, how corny is that? And it worked, and the audience loved it.
Final episodes are always kind of kinky, because you want to know that there's life beyond, that it doesn't end. Mm-hmm. How was that final episode doing that? Was it emotional? Was it tough? Was it you were railing against the wedding?
The wedding episode was a double episode, and really, took you through the journey of, what a woman bride goes through the night before, and what Dwayne was going through watching somebody else marry Whitley. And I think it was a great culmination of that series because it was saying goodbye to the show in a way that you do at a graduation. We're going into another phase of our lives, and we had really exhausted the campus, and it would have been, you know, we would have been 50-year-old sweat hogs, basically. Not that that bothered me when I watched that show, but after a while, you know, the time thing, I think we could have maybe moved on with Whitley and Dwayne and their married lives, but I really didn't want to talk like that anymore, and I wanted to explore the things. But also, I feel I'm not a big romantic in that girly kind of way, you know. I didn't care for watching Miss America pageants and I never fantasized about weddings and what to wear, and it was just, again, so odd. Here I am trying to pick out a wedding dress. There's this energy around me from the writers and the producers. They're really excited. I was like, I'm not really getting married. The set was this was like we're going to their wedding, you know. And you're like, I just have outer body experiences sometimes playing Whitley. And I loved working with Joe Morton, who was the other man, but Kadeem didn't like other men on the set. He liked being the head cheese, and it was really funny when other men came on, you know. It was okay with Darryl Bell because it was his sidekick and his boy, but anybody else, he loved being the testosterone in the group.
What about Sinbad when he came on?
He didn't do the, you know, butt heads with Sinbad, I think, because we were all in there together. But those guest stars, I was like, you're being kind of mean, you know. And then in the dressing room, I was having trouble with one of the scenes with Joe, because we were dealing with some heavy issues, and I wanted to still stay as Whitley, and but I didn't want to. I was just having trouble mixing the comedy with the depths of what we were talking about. And I said to Kadeem, you know, as I usually did, what's up? What's going on? How come this isn't working? He said, I think you and Joe need to go to the lab and get some chemistry. I was like, oh, bitchy. But that was just because he didn't like, you know. So that was always funny to me, you know. Because we would have guests. We had a lot of wonderful guests, and that new male energy, the lion in Kadeem would come out.
In part 4 of my conversation with Jasmine Guy, we go deeper into the story arc of the main characters. We'll talk about Bill Cosby's influence on the show. Remember, this conversation took place before all now revealed scandals were known to anyone. And Jasmine tells us about how Debbie Allen put the cast through their daily paces. It's a revealing and funny look into the making of a sitcom classic. Meantime, let me know in the comments how you felt about the last episode of A Different World. Would you have done it differently? How? I can't wait to find out. I do read every comment. I'm David Levin. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Want to talk to celebrities yourself? Become a Patreon subscriber, and then tune in to Ask Them Yourself. Ouch!